I'm 21, really don't want to end things with my boyfriend from 20, but I'm starting to feel like maybe things would be better with someone else today. I never doubted my relationship until recently. We've been together just short of 2 years. Meeting the first day of college. He had something close to a nervous breakdown June-August last year. I was more than happy to comfort/listen to him for a month or so. But this was every day. But eventually, I snapped and told him the relationship would become unsustainable, especially because his anxiety made him confess everything to me, whether it be some word porn he looked at 7 years ago or finding someone we know hotter than me. It hurt me a lot. For the most part, this stopped. Until May this year. Outside of his mental health issues, we have a great relationship as friends, similar tastes/hobbies, no fights, always surprises me with thoughtful gifts like a present related to inside jokes, etc. Our parents assume we'll get married because we act like an old married couple, etc. We happily chatted about moving in/getting married in our late 20s since 6 months into this. In the last 3 months, since his mental health took this further downturn, I've gotten easily frustrated. He confesses to something probably 2 or 3 times a day now. I've cried over stuff he confessed. He cannot relax until he confesses. I pushed him to do a few free sessions of therapy lately. He only did it to make me happy, and he won't go to a doctor/psychiatrist for a real diagnosis. About a week ago, I was crying over something he confessed over the phone, and I was hit with the thought, what if somewhere out there's someone just as good as my boyfriend minus his illness? I feel terrible, but he really loves me, and I love him. He just has a terrible illness. I've considered waiting another few months just in case things improve again, because when he was fine, the first year before the illness and the months in which he was off were by far the best in my life. The thought of him not being in my life as my boyfriend and best friend makes me feel so sad and empty. But I also don't think he's the one anymore. What should I do? Too long, don't read, really don't want to end things with the man I love. But also feel like this won't work out. Help. In the last 3 months, since his mental health took this further downturn, I've gotten easily frustrated. He confesses to something probably 2 or 3 times a day now. I've cried over stuff he confessed. He cannot relax until he confesses. I pushed him to do a few free sessions of therapy lately. He only did it to make me happy, and he won't go to a doctor/psychiatrist for a real diagnosis. You need to break up. He is ill, and he refuses to get treatment. He's forcing you into the role of his free therapist, and it's not on. His behavior could be due to general depression or anxiety. My point is, his illness is serious, and you should not stay with him unless he actually gets professional help and commits to it. There really isn't a one or soulmate out there. I can go into my reasoning behind that, but you will find that everyone, even people with whom you are most compatible, have issues of one sort or another. People are fallible. Here's the thing. When we first meet people, we are drawn to superficial quality, how they look, how they speak, what they're doing. We don't really know their personality. As you date, you learn more and may find things you really like. You have similar political views, or like the same movies, or the same foods. The more you find to like about someone, the more involved you may want to be with them. There's also limerence, that in love feeling. But that is a factor. When you're sexually drawn to someone and can't stop thinking about them, it can make you think there's something special about the person or the relationship. Limerence doesn't indicate anything of the sort. It's just your body chemistry doing its thing. Now, limerence can fade over time. The excitement you get in the early days of a relationship can lessen. There's not as much thrill or desire, and so on. Also, you can have the realization you had. There may be someone else out there who is better in some superficial way. Maybe they're more closely aligned in your thoughts, or how frequently you want sex, or they don't have a mental illness. But what should make you decide to love someone and want to have a long-term relationship with them is the realization that they are important to you, as they are, and you want them in your life, even with their problems. That is, you like someone because of something, but you love someone in spite of the issues. Now, my actual concern is that he's resistant to therapy. His behaviour is not really common with daily confessions, and it should be something which makes him think. I should get this looked at. If he is refusing, then you're someone who doesn't care about himself or his effect on people close to him. If it were alcoholics, you would probably make your choice with less worry. So you can tell him that you love him and you want him in your life, but that if he doesn't go to a therapist to work out what's going on with his behaviour, you'll have to leave him for your own mental health. It sounds like an ultimatum. In reality, you are protecting yourself. Even if he were to get therapy, he may not change in his behaviour enough, so it isn't a transaction where go to therapy equals stay in relationship. You love him, so you want him to at least try, but you have to love yourself too, and if your limit is I can't be a daily therapy session for you, what's your limit? And it is your choice to get out of that situation. I support sticking by someone with mental health issues, but only if they're seeking help to get better, try their best to make sure they don't cause hurt to you. But if he won't get help, it won't get any better. You will definitely find better one day, I promise.